Hello and welcome back to the Betches podcast. I'm Jordana.
I'm Sami.
And I'm Aileen. Hey guys.
We're back.
Hello.
We're back and on YouTube.
And if you're not watching us on YouTube already, go to youtube.com/Betches and subscribe.
And we have a new set.
And we have a new set. And it's Sami's birthday
Yay!
today.
36.
36.
Double high.
Jordana, how do you
that's
feel
a good one.
being the youngest
You're the
one?
Youngest
youngest.
again. It's that special time of year between April 10th and September 7th when I get to say I'm the year younger than you guys. It is an exciting time for me.
It's very exciting.
How do you celebrate?
How do I celebrate? It's really my day too.
Yeah,
You know,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird because 37 was the first age that I was conscious of my mother being. Like, that was the first, like, oh, that's like an older age. And I feel like we're like right there.
Great.
So when your mom turned 37, you were like, wow, this bitch is old.
Old bitch.
It was like both the first birthday I like understood of her having. So I guess like to
How old were
me
you?
that was, I must have been 6.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
So she had you at 31.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you would be 6.
That's how I did the math also.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been good. You know, I have had good birthdays. We had a great party this weekend.
Yeah.
It was so fun. So we're going to do a new segment. It is called Your Week in a Headline. And we're going to come up with our own headlines to describe our week/weekend.
My headline is Aileen gets murdered before the game even starts, doesn't get a chance to play, proves that she's a real gamer. That's it.
It's a long headline.
Yeah.
Very descriptive.
It's
need
the
a copy
it's
editor on
the
that.
digital headline. It's not the one in print.
You know, here's the thing, Aileen.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
You've really been playing your whole life. These people in this room know you better than anyone else.
What do you mean?
And, you know, the game began as long as we've known each other, that they've decided that was, you know, it wasn't, you know, we weren't at the table deciding, but the traders decided.
I think we need to explain what we did. So
Okay,
that everyone has
right.
more
Okay, we should
context.
explain okay. First, I'll explain what we did. I hosted a Sopranos-themed Traitors party. So if people realize, like the game Traitors is based on the game Mafia, which is kind of like the same thing. So, you know, in the Mafia theme, I made everyone dress as Sopranos gangsters, decorated the whole house.
I was dressed as a Gumar.
You looked just like you were in your element. Jordana, your hair looks great. You should tease it more.
Is that what I did? I
think
didn't,
so.
I just didn't straighten it. I just didn't straighten it.
Oh, I thought it was like done like that on purpose.
Oh, really? No,
good.
it was just like it was raining a lot, and I was kind of like, if
Right.
I do it, it's gonna get ruined. I don't have keratin in it.
I thought you did that on purpose.
Well, then I was like, let me lean into like the like big haired soprano look, which is like, do they have? And then I was like, do they have big? I had so many outfits. My first outfit was like. My first stab at this looked like Grease, you know, Sandy from Grease,
Yeah.
like the leather. And then I was like,
get away
but
with
they're
that.
not really wearing leather jackets in the Sopranos.
Well, like, I guess Adriana might. But
She might.
It depends what you wear under. Like, if you're wearing, like, a leather, like a leotard that's, like, full body,
Yeah.
then the leather jacket would go.
I should have stuck with that.
no, you
didn't
did
say
great.
it.
The
Yeah.
hair was
You
great.
were
The hair
good.
was great. I thought you did it on purpose. But I thought, yeah.
And you wore a fur.
I wore a giant fur,
Yes.
a giant hand-me-down from my grandmother. That is the only time I've ever worn it.
You should
And,
wear it more often.
Where?
I think it. You know what? That jacket screams it's my birthday.
It does.
Which brings me back to another thought I had about thinking about your birthdays. We've been friends a long time.
Yeah.
Not that long. We're young.
Time is relative. I think we've been friends for a long time. You've had many birthdays, and I was thinking about. I was actually thinking. I guess this was my birthday. In college, we all lived together senior year, and it was my birthday, and I was like, what am I going to wear? It's like my birthday party. And you were like, do you want to look in my closet? Because like pretty much every outfit I own screams, it's my birthday.
That's such a good Sami quote.
It was a very personality quote.
You know,
of
I
yours,
kind of
yes.
like. You know, I feel like I've curbed that part of my personality, and I want to bring it back.
You want to bring it back.
I want to bring it
Yes.
back. It's
I think you
harmless.
should.
It's
Yes.
harmless.
You go all out for your birthdays. I respect it. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I want everyone to have a good time.
I had a great
it's not
time.
really only about me having a good time. Today's my birthday. I'm literally doing nothing. I came to work and then I'm going to the dermatologist.
Wait,
then I'm
so-
going home. But I really feel very satisfied that we had such a fun party.
It was really fun.
It was really
So
fun,
what's your
yeah.
headline then?
Birthday girl coordinates extremely intense game of Traitors ends with Jordana screaming, "Believe women," and then getting voted out.
That did happen. Correct.
That did happen. Okay, let me give the
That
background.
was longer than mine.
Okay. Okay, let me give the background. So there were 13 people playing, and
I was murdered
3
first.
traitors. You were murdered first, but the game began.
So you didn't really get to play.
I didn't get to
because-
play.
She did get to play. She got to come back in and vote.
Okay.
Well, right off
Okay,
the bat,
here's
right off
what
the bat,
happened.
there were 2 people
At the
that were
beginning
killed.
of the dinner,
Yes,
but there was hours of party before.
I mean, she was still allowed to attend the
Yeah, like,
event.
yeah, she
I was late and I just got there.
It'd be funny if
that's no
it
one's
would be
fault.
funny if you texted the people who were killed off immediately and were just like, "Don't
come."
come."
You've been killed.
Yeah.
No,
Don't
so-
bother.
No, I mean the idea was that people after they get out could still participate. But okay, so I texted the traitors, the 3 traitors beforehand, and said you have to pick 2 people that you're going to kill when we sit down for dinner.
Okay. How did they
Okay.
choose me? How did they choose me?
I don't remember exactly.
I remember Alexa said they either wanted to kill you or me right off
Yes,
the bat, and
yes.
I guess they chose you.
They
Bigger
killed you
threat.
because you're good. No, that is why.
Maybe, yeah.
That is why.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
that's part of my headline. It made me feel good.
It's
to
a
be
compliment that you were
like a
killed.
Boston Rob gamer, but gamers
Yeah.
never make it to the end.
Well, maybe you got to tone down your gaming.
I think so. That was my takeaway.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's possible. I don't think anyone's gonna buy it after the other night. But yeah, Aileen was one who was chosen to get out at the beginning of the dinner, and then it was very upsetting. But at the end, there were 3 traitors left and Jordana.
Yes.
and Jordana obviously knew she was.
I knew who the traitor, even though you kept trying to say that that wasn't the case.
But
No,
everyone-
what I was saying was that the traitors could have, in theory, taken one of themselves out in order to make things.
That seems like a little advanced of a move for this group.
Well, now that you know who the traitors were,
It was possible, but they didn't do that.
well, they didn't.
So it was me and the traitors, and so because there were 4 people left, and 3 people were traitors. I knew that everyone that was not me that was left was a traitor, and I just kept telling everyone at the table that the 3 people that were left with me were traitors, and everyone voted me out.
Well,
No one
that's
believed
because
her.
you were. Everybody thought you were a traitor the whole time. You were so obvious. Even Mike was like, Jordana, come on.
obvious.
Mike's the first
but
person
she's-
to tell me I'm a traitor.
But here's the thing: like you weren't obvious. The thing is, no one believes you whether you're a
That's
traitor
the thing.
or faithful.
I'm bad I am very bad at lying, but I'm also very bad at telling the truth. So somehow I made it very far in this game while being
Yeah.
bad at the game.
And the traitors won, all 3.
Yeah,
And,
that was crazy that they all 3 won, not one. We didn't get one out. I understand.
I can't
now
believe it either.
How hard the game is.
I do wish that we had. I think that they would have had a harder time if there were maybe 1 or 2 additional faithfuls.
yeah.
I think
Right.
maybe because
More people.
The balance
there
was a
was-
little bit off.
yeah, like if there were 2 traitors, then that's not enough. You need 3. So
3 is enough to collude for sure.
And then they all were just quiet when you were like yelling at them. And then
that's why I picked them.
The craziest person always loses. That's
Yeah.
the rule
Well,
for
that's
all.
true. Anyway.
things,
Well,
yeah.
that's
so what's
why
your
I-
headline?
My headline is a ticked off weekend. I didn't know it had to be like multiple parts.
Oh, yours is very short.
Is a ticked off weekend. I was ticked off that no one believed me at the end, and I was ticked off that I got bitten by a tick on Friday night.
God.
Wait, you got bitten by a tick and your dog got bitten by a tick?
Yes.
Same
I
tick?
think it's related. I think the
Wait.
2 things are related to each other.
Same
I think
tick?
I think the dog brought in. This was a separate night.
Oh.
Separate night that I discovered the
You need
second
to wear some spray or something.
believe me. Since then, I have bought everything
You were
on
such
Amazon.
a vigilant tick.
I'm-
Like,
Well,
my
she
greatest
found it.
fear.
Listen,
My,
yeah.
I would say that's my greatest fear,
She found
Oh.
it.
and
it?
that's why I
Traitorous.
moved to the woods because it's my greatest fear.
I think it became your greatest fear once
did
you
you not
moved to
just
the woods.
face
Perhaps.
your fear?
I don't know. We'll see if I get Lyme disease. More on that, I guess, as the summer progresses.
You
How
know,
the tick journey has
A
will
ticked
come
off
along.
weekend does sort of sound like a long form New Yorker piece.
That's what I
about
thought
a
we were supposed
woman
to do.
Who moves to the suburbs and it just all goes wrong.
It's funny that you got bit by a tick because you were so vigilant.
It's literally all I would ever talk about was how scared I was of getting bitten by a tick.
All you would
Perhaps
bring up
you
is ticks.
manifested
Maybe I
them.
was just thinking. Maybe I did
Yeah,
manifest
you
it.
thought about it too.
You're giving it too much energy. You've got to redirect away.
All right. Okay.
Away from the
okay.
ticks.
Well, now that
Away from the ticks.
now that I've sprayed everything
Tick away.
down, I had
Tick
Dr.
away.
Naomi walk me through an intention to get
the
out
ticks
of my
away.
tick spiral on Monday already. So
Good.
Yet she's still thinking about it for content, though.
when I was on the train on the way into the city on Monday, I saw something in my hair.
Was it a tick?
I think so. I don't know. I just took it off and I threw it onto the Long Island Railroad.
Today?
No, on Monday.
New headline. Random woman finds tick on her in the LIRR. Was flung onto her by fellow passenger. Lawsuit imminent.
Okay, guys, we are introducing our new segment, Hot Goss of the Week. In this segment, listeners write in with their best gossip.
This is where you're going to get out your gossip that you can't tell anyone else, or perhaps you've exhausted all the people that you can tell and you still want to talk about it. So you're going to tell us. You can write into podcast, 1T. Sorry, just there's no S at the end.
Doesn't know how to spell.
Podcast at Betches.com.
4 P's.
To write in your anonymous gossip. I would recommend changing the names or putting it anonymously unless you want people to know. But again, that's up to you. But we are not responsible for any drama that we cause.
And then we're going to discuss
and then we're going to discuss it. We're going to dissect it. We're going to rate it. We're going to do what would you do. We're going to what would you rather it. So let's talk.
My friends Alex and Marcus, a married gay couple, worked for the same government agency in New York. Everything seemed perfect until Alex discovered Marcus was cheating. The affair was with a man in England, and Marcus left Alex to chase him. But once in England, the other man rejected him, leaving Marcus humiliated and stuck abroad. Alex, meanwhile, took a job in Argentina to start fresh. The two weren't speaking and wanted nothing to do with each other. But Marcus never told his employer about the breakup. So when it came time for the next assignment or relocation, his boss was thrilled to tell him he was headed to Argentina to be with Alex. Twist of the century. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Gosh.
The boss was dating the ex?
No.
I'm confused.
No.
They worked together.
They worked together.
Okay.
They didn't tell. They broke up.
Right.
One was cheating. Whatever. They didn't tell the boss about the breakup. One was sent to Argentina, but then the boss sent the other one back to Argentina, like
That's
unknowingly.
crazy.
And now they're together.
One of them left the government job to get a different job in Argentina.
I see.
But the boss doesn't realize they broke up. And that was the reason.
To be nice, I assume
So
he sent him to Argentina.
Yeah.
That's
what government job in New York, government agency in New York City? is
Maybe
sending
they'll
people to
get back
Argentina?
together.
The Argentinian consulate,
Maybe.
potentially.
So what's going to happen? Do you think they're going to...
Like get back together?
I don't know. It depends with our relationship. How was this really... was this like just one, is he going to do it again? Is Marcus going to do it again?
They're not going to... Well, no, I can't imagine they would be back together, but maybe one of them will just be reassigned or somewhere else or like requested.
Could he say, I'm not going to go to Argentina? Actually, we broke up.
Maybe.
I think you could. I would start with that.
Yeah, I would start with that.
I'd prefer not.
Do you think
to
he
go.
was supposed... Like, would you have told your boss, like if you were him?
No.
That's a
I don't know.
good
It depends
question.
what the relationship with the boss is like.
Do you have to cancel the love contract?
I think it depends what the relationship with the boss is like.
Well, I feel like if the boss knew you were, or they're
Yeah.
married, wouldn't you?
Oh, they're married.
they're married.
I forgot. Oh,
Yeah.
Damn. Do they have kids?
Tough if they have kids if they live in different countries.
I don't think they have kids.
I want to know.
guessing
I want to
no.
know more about the affair.
Same.
That's the
the most-
gossip. I
If
want
only we
more.
could find out more.
If you're listening, reader, writer, inner, send us some follow-ups about what's going on because I really want to know. I have a feeling that they're not going to be together and one of them is going to leave Argentina.
Or both.
Or they'll get back together and
In Argentina.
reconcile their marriage.
Right. That's why I feel like maybe.
That's crazy that he left to go to England to be with
Yeah, I think
this
that's
new
actually
guy.
the real. I actually think
That's
that we
the
have
gossip.
to. That's the real betrayal.
Yeah.
Because it's not like
I mean,
he
no,
stayed
that's not the
here.
real betrayal. The
Well,
betrayal was that you cheated
He
on your husband.
He cheated, but then he left him to chase this person.
Oh, that part. Yeah, I thought you were saying the betrayal was Mark.
No, not the one
Englishman.
Not the Englishman. Chasing the Englishman is really fucked up.
Well, yeah, he must have been just like completely in love. It was truly an affair.
I think for the segment, we should rate the gossip. Like, how hot is it? Hot or more than hot or not? I think we should rate it from like iceberg right ahead to the hottest chili pepper contest.
The hottest goss you've ever gossed. Okay, that's a 10.
Inner circle of hell.
Yes.
Hot.
Okay.
Okay, I give this, because of the flight to England, I give it an 8.5.
Of the hottest goss. Okay, I can imagine.
Imagine these are your friends.
Okay, these are
or
your friends, and this is
coworkers.
happening. Yeah, I would say we would be talking about this in our text for like
Yes.
a long time, but we'd be dissecting it.
Here's the
give it
thing. If he can get out of going to Argentina, the gossip gets lower. Like,
Yeah.
I call it like a 7.
Well, he can get out of it. He can just say,
I was gonna
"No,
give it a
thank
7.
you."
Yeah. But if he has to go, like if he's actually sent there and they're like in the same area, I'd give it like an 8.5.
I assume they were sent. He's sent there. You know, I'm counting for that.
That
But you
is-
guys
I
know
feel
I
like
agree.
people usually discuss moving to some place without just like assigning someone to move.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 just because like I'm putting myself in as a friend's shoes, and I would be like wouldn't be able to stop talking about this. And the twist though at the end was that they were both going to Argentina, which would be like hilarious. I can imagine you texting like in all caps, be like, "Oh my god, they're
Yeah,
all going to
it's hot
Argentina."
gossip.
If they're going.
It would
yeah.
be like
Well, at least
particularly
the idea
hot.
that they could have to go is just hilarious.
Yeah, I would
That's true.
say.
But,
I think this
okay.
is a hot 7.
Okay, I think you guys are underrating the part where he chases him to England and then gets dumped. Like that is
That's pretty gossipy. Yeah.
Well, that's why this is the best kind of gossip, because it kind of like keeps giving. It's not just like one time you hear
Yes,
something and then
yes.
it's
not
over.
just they broke up.
It's like you get every few months you get like an update
Mm-hmm.
about what's the latest in the saga.
But that's why I give it a 7 and not a 6.
I agree. Speaking of actual real celebrity gossip, does someone want to explain what's going on with Walter Goggins and Aimee Lou Wood?
Well,
Yes.
First of all, Walton Goggins.
Oh, his name is his name?
Yeah.
His name is Walton
It's a very-
Goggins.
Oh, it is. I've been calling him Walter.
I know you and like thousands
Okay.
of other people.
All right,
are
I don't
doing
feel as
it.
bad.
But no, don't feel bad. Everyone's doing it, right?
Walton.
I feel like half the world thinks his name is
Wait,
Walter.
where
I
did
just
I
call
see
him
that?
Walter?
Where
Yes.
did I
Okay.
see that meme? Maybe Betches posted, maybe not. It was like imagine like
looking at a baby
looking
and
at a
calling
baby.
it Walton Goggins. Yes.
Yes. yeah.
He seems like a Walton
He
Goggins.
didn't seem
Yeah.
like a Rick.
So, as we know, they were both stars of the White Lotus and they had a lovely love affair. I mean, depending on how you look at toxic relationships.
Exactly.
But so there was a lot of commentary from a bunch of the cast, not just them necessarily, that there had been a lot of drama on set. And Jason Isaacs and Carrie Coon specifically had said, like, romances were made and lost, friendships were made and lost. Like, this
Which
is
was so
hot
weird.
goss. I really think that Mike White, because he was on Survivor, sort of recreates this dynamic where he wants them to like kind of lean more into their characters and feel like they're like kind of really there. Like they're there for 6 to 7 months.
It's a long time.
I know.
Yes, and they are living in the hotel that they're filming in.
And that's nice.
They're playing their, yeah, that's nice. You know, they do have to pay for incidentals, so all the food on them. And they all get paid the same thing, and it's a non-negotiable salary. So,
They don't get a stipend?
not that I don't
They
think
have
so.
to
I
pay
think
for
they
their
get,
own food.
yeah, like
I
at the
guess-
hotel.
I guess that makes sense. Like you're working, you get your own food.
I feel like there's
unless-
usually food on a movie set. What are they going to like? It's not like, oh, I'm
They
going to
have
go leave and go to Shake Shack.
Well, they have to, whatever. In the article, it said they had to pay for incidentals, but
Okay.
that is incidental to this, which is that, so they were, Aimee Lou Wood and Walton Goggins were like super close, like commenting on each other's Instagrams. And apparently they were like, got really, really close on set. And apparently people noticed like the other day that they don't follow each other, but they follow all their other co-stars. And it looks like he had maybe blocked her because all of his comments on her posts were there, but hers were gone on his. And he tags everyone in the cast photos except her, which you can't do when you block someone. And he had said to people, quote, "We became close, very, very close, very quickly. She was the person that mattered the most to me during this experience. We both became enmeshed in each other in the way that Rick and Chelsea are." And I think they like haven't been at the same like cast, like they didn't go to like the finale events together.
Are
Like,
they in relationships?
Yeah, he's
in
married.
a relationship.
Okay, he's
I don't
married.
think she is. Yeah, she's married. He's
No,
married
he's
and has a
married.
kid. She's not. She's not in a relationship. And then he posted like a 12 slide story with him and her, like a memorial to Rick and Chelsea, but with the Fleetwood Mac song Silver Springs, which has like its own meaning of like long time loves lost, fraught.
So
whatever.
he posted this after he blocked her.
Like the other day, like after the finale.
Okay.
Yeah. And so people are suspicious that maybe they had some sort of like, some people are calling it like a feud,
But it
some
wasn't.
people are calling
But
it
also,
an affair.
she posted something earlier with that same song.
Yes, she also posted something with her and him and that song. And like you could say, oh, it's meant to kind of be like the characters, or you could just be like, oh, it's also laden with meaning, because it really seems like people do kind of go a bit method on this.
They said that. They both, Aimee Lou also was in an interview and said, like, I got really method. By the way, I got all my info in the Betches.com article about this. Go check it out. But yes, she said that we got really method about the whole
And that means
thing.
you just pretend you're the character?
But I don't think they necessarily do it on purpose.
Character.
Okay.
I don't think it's like, I think there's varying degrees of how much people can like control how stuck they get in the character. It seems like Aimee Lou Wood like really gets into her character. And I also, like, that was another thing, like Jason Isaacs and Parker Posey. Like Jason Isaacs says that he and Parker Posey had different viewpoints on, styles on like coming out of character on set. I think Parker Posey I think she is like more of a serious character actor. And he's like, I'm British. So I'm like, okay, that means you thinking about what Brian Cox once says, like us Brits, we do the acting when the camera's on and then we come out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what he meant. And
So what do you think happened?
I think they probably had some sort of like emotional affair at least. And probably his wife isn't cool with that. Because apparently like his wife maybe came and visited. Like the other piece of evidence is that Leslie Bibb is very close with his wife.
Because she's married to Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
Or they're not married, but they're together. Whatever.
Sam Rockwell, Walton Goggins, and Walton Goggins' wife, whose name is escaping me at the moment.
Double date.
What? They were all friends.
Okay.
Leslie Bibb said in interviews that she got very close with Aimee Lou Wood on set, and now I think that the wife and Leslie Bibb are not following each other anymore. I think it was like maybe an emotional.
Maybe it was a physical affair.
People really loved their characters and their romance, and I think if you kind of look at it objectively, it's like not that great of a relationship.
No,
Yeah, I
did
thought
not
it
like
was so
it.
weirdly hyped. It made no sense.
Yeah.
It was
But
so mean to her
I
the
think
entire
that's
season.
So mean.
I really
but
think
she
that's
liked
because of the
that.
chemistry.
He
I
almost
think that's
got her
because
killed
of
the first time, and then he actually got her killed the second time. Crazy.
I really think that's because of the chemistry
Did
that
they
they
have
had.
good chemistry?
The character.
He always just seemed like annoyed by her.
No, but the actors, they like even though he always seemed like he hated her, and it seemed like she was just like chasing him, and like,
Right.
it didn't make any sense, especially in the beginning. I think the chemistry between the actors is what made people like kind of overlook all that and still be like, I'm rooting for them. I love this love story.
Like the few times when he like warms up to her, that's when you see like the endearing side of him. And then and you're like, oh, actually, he's just rough around the edges, but he's almost, it was kind of interesting. It almost made you see why Chelsea would be into him, because she's like, you get those pockets of like love outside.
Yes, they're so sparing and far between. He didn't even
so
call her when he went to Bangkok. So
I
rude.
know.
Why block her if you're going to put up that 12 slide thing?
Well, I think there are two reasons. One, because it could have been the wife that requested the block, and the 12 slide thing was supposed to be more of a memorial. You could say
The technicality he's getting by on.
No, because they
No,
died.
it's like their characters
so the
died.
characters
Okay, it's more about the
died.
characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like, and it's not like it's like his character. He also wrote this whole tribute about like their characters. Like Chelsea and Rick are a love story. I'm like,
All right.
Yeah, very odd.
yeah, it's like the nicest
he
thing you
was-
said was, that's the plan. He like,
I
he doesn't
know.
even say I love you.
He was on Not Skinny But Not Fat, that was interesting. And she asked if he does his own social. He's like, well, yeah. So
he
like it
does.
is him.
You
Like,
can
there's
tell
no
he
one
does.
else like telling him to do anything.
Yeah, I smell a divorce coming in the next few years.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be together. Who knows?
Aimee Lou Wood, and she's really interesting. I was reading a bunch of interviews with her. Like I think, like now I want to go watch Sex Education.
Oh,
haven't seen that.
that's what she's from. I remember that now. Our last segment is All the Rage, brought to you by Angry Orchard Hard Cider, because life's too short to bottle things up when there are far more entertaining things to obsess over. From celebrity feuds to reality TV chaos, we're breaking down some of the pop culture moments that have us spiraling this week, but in the best way. So crack open a crisp, refreshing Angry Orchard and let's get into it. Okay, did you guys watch The Studio? Because I feel like that's been a good show. I love when there's prestige TV on. And I would definitely categorize that in there.
I'm really into The Studio. I think, well, okay, let me say, it's very 2010s, but I'm okay with that because
You feel like it's a little behind its time?
It's not that it's like a little, it's not behind its time. It just could have come out like 10 years ago. And I think it would still kind of work the same way and appeal to the same people. And it could have been like also distributed by Apple.
Yeah.
If they were distributed at that time.
Okay, so it's on Apple TV, Seth Rogen, and he is basically a studio head, and it's just kind of like a parody of what it is, but I heard that it's very accurate. Is what it's like to be a movie studio head, and like all the things that happen, like speaking of things that spiral, he's basically spiraling every episode. And so I liked it, but there's like this background music, almost like the tempo or the pace of the show. It continues to the second episode and it makes me anxious.
Right.
The main conflict is that he wants to make like artsy movies that are like good, and you know his bosses only want him to make big blockbuster movies, and so he like loves movies, and he wants to be like the head of the studio that like talent loves. So it's kind of this like ego thing where he's trying to like suck up to them and they're trying to suck up to him to get things, and he doesn't know how to like give notes to anyone. But I thought the second episode was so anxiety inducing, so much more than the first, because they shot it all in one scene, and they're on a set and they're trying to shoot a one shot cut by the time the sun sets so that they can get like the proper lighting. And he's there and he's like fucking everything up, and it's oh my God, it's really, really
okay,
intense.
so mid episode, I was like, this isn't funny. And then I just couldn't stop laughing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was not, I didn't find it funny because I was like, this is so annoying, and just like keeps going. And then it got very funny, and like to the point where it was absurd. And in the end, when he asked like if they got it, and they were like, no, they didn't get the shot. It was just like so bad, good, bad, good.
It kind of felt like
I need to finish the last, I think, 2 episodes.
It felt like Veep meets like Entourage a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a great concept, like the first episode where they're talking about like the Kool-Aid situation, or like the Kool-Aid
so
making the like the parody of the Barbie movie or whatever, talking about that. I thought that was like a great concept. Really funny execution. They have like Martin Scorsese in there.
And Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, and Ron Howard. And
Also,
like all these people.
of them trying to figure out how to say Steve Buscemi's name.
That was also
very
funny
because like that's
too.
real. Of
Yeah,
course.
same.
Yes.
But it's Buscemi, no?
It's Buscemi, he says.
No,
he just said it's Buscemi. Why would he lie?
He
about
said
that?
it was Buscemi.
It's Buscemi.
I thought he said it was Buscemi.
No,
everybody
he
said it was Buscemi.
No, he says everyone says it's Buscemi, but it's actually Buscemi.
Oh yeah, and then who was it that said like, oh maybe it's like bruschetta. Bruschetta.
Was that in the show?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, great. I mean, it was a great cast. I think
Ike Barinholtz is
I thought it was a
funny.
very funny first episode. I do think like I don't know if I need like a full multi-season series out of it. Like I think the concept is funny, but I don't think I'm going to be like so attached to it for many seasons to come.
It reminds me of the morning show. It's
so
no.
better.
In terms of like what you're saying, like I don't know if I'll be like I
I've
like
been
it, but I don't know if
watching
I'll be
every season
attached
of
to it.
Morning
Right.
And I know people like it. I'm sure. Yeah.
No, I don't like it. I just keep
I agree
watching.
with you. I think it's Veep meets Entourage, which is why I feel like it's like stuck in the 2010s. But not.
Right.
But like I don't care. Like it just doesn't feel very contemporary to me.
I watched this documentary last night called Bad Influence: The Dark Side of Kidfluencing, and I think it was like the basis of the book that we read for our book club, Bad Influencer.
Oh,
Really?
Because it's all about this mom who has this. I mean, this kid. I didn't know who she was before this because I'm not like 13 years old. But basically, she's like this huge YouTube star, and she has this whole squad of like other. Her name is Piper Raquel.
wait. So the name is the same as the book? Bad Influence.
No, Such a Bad Influence.
Such a Bad Influence is the book.
Yeah.
And what's this called?
Bad
Influence.
Bad Influence. And basically, it's about
Okay,
this,
like that's on the same.
this
thing.
girl named Piper Raquel, who has like 6 million.
Piper now.
She has like 6 million 6 million plus followers on Instagram, and she's like this huge child YouTube star, which again I've never heard of, but I don't think that really means much. And there's this whole other squad of like other kids who were like in this network, and it's all kind of spearheaded by her mom, who's like exploiting her and these kids. She's like a single mom.
Was it good?
It was good, and I was like, this is like the exact plot of like this book. Also, like,
did they go to like
kind
a
of
weird
go
wellness?
missing and then go to like a rehab?
Well, no, not that part. Just the idea of like the mom kind of taking advantage of the daughter, and like, but
So did you like it?
did I like the documentary?
Yeah. Like, are you recommending we watch it?
I thought it was
feel like we got the
interesting
summary.
as commentary on stuff we've talked about on here, and this again, like, it felt like very close to the plot of this
Olivia
book.
Munter.
Well, I have a feeling that she was inspired by seeing, like, you know, just because we don't know about the 13-year-old influencers.
No, I'm sure. Yeah,
But like, I feel like that this was something that she probably like based it on because it is a phenomenon, and then these people are real, and it is quite interesting.
yeah.
And also there are like now laws, I think, going into effect in California that parents of kids who are making money online have to put like a certain amount of it away
for them. Yeah.
So what I've heard is that some influencers, like the parents, are kind of relocating elsewhere so that they don't have to do that. I don't know how common it is, but I have heard that it is happening.
It sounds very exploitative. I guess it just feels like so counterintuitive to be exploiting your own child that directly.
I don't think I'm going to watch it.
It definitely made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch that. But I do want to circle back to
Sorry.
the studio
Okay.
because there's also a movie. You know how the whole thing is about Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
Kool-Aid
And like
movie.
he made up this like ridiculous plot. Oh no, he didn't make up that. He got that director to make up this like really absurd plot. Apparently, the Hershey movie that is actually coming out is almost the exact plot of the Kool-Aid movie.
Of the the Jonestown thing?
No. No,
of the other one. Okay.
The main Kool-Aid.
Okay, the
like,
not Scorsese
yeah,
one.
the not
Okay.
Scorsese cut of Kool-Aid.
Like that part of it was so funny.
So
Where he had like sort
funny.
of tricks Martin
was
Scorsese
perfect.
into
So funny. And then he tells him, and then he finds out that it's going to be his last thing. It's funny. It's a funny show, but it's like subtly funny. It's like
I don't think it's subtle.
I think it's subtly funny because you don't realize that it's funny until later. I don't think it's funny as you watch it.
I think it's like unsubtle. I think it's like particularly unsubtle. That's so like funny.
Maybe because I'm so
I think it's sort of subtle. I think it's somewhere in the
I'm
middle of those two.
I'm so anxious
Do
watching
we have a
it.
different definition of subtle?
Yeah, I'm so anxious watching it that I'm not ready to laugh until I think about it after without the fucking music. That's what I feel
Interesting.
watching. Anyway, so apparently
I've never been anxious about something subtle in my life. I don't know. Maybe that's not true.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is going to be a real movie.
This is gonna be a real movie.
With,
The
and
Hershey's chocolate.
Alexandra Daddario from the White Lotus is going to be the Hershey's Milton Hershey's wife. And Finn Wittrock from American Horror Story is going to play Milton Hershey.
And
so
the
inventor of Hershey's.
director is from Mean Girls and Freaky Friday.
The idea that like Hershey is paying for this movie, like that.
My
when they're talking
guess
about
is
the
that
IP
they're
from these things?
licensing they're paying Hershey to use
So they're
their
getting
IP.
paid or they're paying?
My guess is Hershey is getting
Were you
paid.
getting paid
Silence?
or were you paid?
I think Hershey is getting paid.
Is getting
I would
paid.
assume, yeah,
Right.
they have to license it.
Yes.
But I thought it's like one big marketing movie for their thing. Like Barbie was like kind of a marketing movie for.
What I'm guessing is Hershey's getting paid to use their like likeness and logo and brand. And then the studio is going to make partnerships via Hershey with all these other things like they did for Barbie. And that all of that marketing from the partnerships will then drive revenue for the movie and make more people go see it.
I don't know if I'll be seeing the Hershey's movie, only if it's the Scorsese cut.
I mean, what if Mila wants to see it?
No.
What if it's
No?
good? What if you hear it's good?
Then maybe I'll see it.
All right, we'll circle back to that when it comes out.
So that is all the rage. Thanks again to Angry Orchard for reminding us that it is all about balance. Sometimes life gets overwhelming, but taking a moment to enjoy the things we love makes all the difference. Whether it's crafting a literal thesis in the group chat about the latest celebrity drama or White Lotus, that's what I do, or just taking time to unwind, there's always room for a little indulgence or a lot of indulgence. It's almost summer, and I'm going to be drinking Angry Orchard all summer. They are so crisp. You know I love like a little sweet drink. Something
I
you'll
love
like it.
apple
It's sweet.
cider.
Same. It's delicious. It's just
So refreshing.
so light and refreshing. So don't get angry, get Orchard. Learn more and find a hard cider near you at angryorchard.com/locations. And follow Angry Orchard on Instagram at Angry Orchard.
we sending to the Caymans? I have a nominee.
Okay, who?
Okay, I am sending the tick that bit me, which is currently in a bag on my kitchen counter.
Ew!
Why are you preserving this tick?
Because I might need to send it in for testing
What?
What?
Where?
to make sure it's not infected. It didn't give me Lyme disease.
What lab?
There's a lab an online lab. You can send in your ticks. Anyway,
Where'd
when
you
it comes
find it?
back from the lab, it's going straight to the Caymans, underground in what's it called? Cargo. In cargo. It's not. It doesn't even get
It doesn't
an
get
economy
checked?
seat. It doesn't even get an economy seat.
It's getting
That
checked.
Yes.
Is harsh.
Well,
I think-
hopefully
do
it'll
you not
sell
agree?
some timeshares when it's there.
Yes.
Okay, bye-bye, tick. And that is it for this episode of At Betches. I'm Aileen.
I'm Sami.
And I'm Jordana, and we'll be back next week on the At Betches podcast.